Good morning, student. Today's class will discuss that is digestion in humans, the remaining parts of digestion in humans. So that we are dealing with chapter 2, nutrition in animals. So already we have discussed regarding stomach, that is a part of digestive organ in humans. So this is digestive system. This stomach is all part of a digestive system in humans. So already I have discussed about stomach. So after the food particles after passing through the esophagus, it will reach to the stomach. It will reach to the stomach. In stomach, it is a bag-like structure. The wall of the stomach is lined with a membrane called mucosa. Already I have told what is mucosa. So inner wall of the stomach is lined with a membrane called mucosa. MUCOSA. This mucosa will secrete some enzymes called mucus, or we can some lubricant substance like thing that is not known as mucus. What is called mucus? So this mucosa is secreted for mucus. Got it now? So this mucosa, which is present in the inner wall of the stomach, will secrete mucus. What is called mucus? This mucus, what is the role of this mucus? This mucus will protect the inner lining wall of the stomach from acid. What is it now? From acid. Which acid we will discuss. Also, there are certain glands in the inner wall of the stomach which will secrete a gastric juice. What is that? Gastric juice. GSTRIC. Gastric juice. This gastric juice will contains two things, two enzymes. That is called, one is that enzyme. Another one is hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid. What is that? These enzymes, what is that enzymes content? In gastric juice, enzymes called pepsin is stored. Pepsin is produced. Got it now? So gastric juice contains enzymes and hydrochloric acid. This acid will help. What is the purpose of this hydrochloric acid? Hydrochloric acid will help in digestion of food. Also, it helps in digestion of food. Also, it kills bacteria, harmful bacteria or harmful bacteria. Got it now? So what is the purpose of this hydrochloric acid? Hydrochloric acid helps in digestion of food as well as kills harmful bacteria. Also, the acid is produced in the stomach. Also, it acidifies the food. Why this acid is produced? Why it is acidify the food? It because acid is produced in the stomach in order to, because this hydrochloric acid does not digest the protein. As you all know, protein is a nutrient which you required by our body. Protein also contains in food product or food component. It is a component of food known as also protein, also a component of food. So this protein cannot be digested in the stomach. It can digest, but this hydrochloric acid does not digest protein. It cannot digest protein. But what else there in the stomach which can digest protein? Here, what happens? This acid will activate the pepsinogen. PEPSINOGEN. this acid will activate pepsinogen in order to release pepsin. This pepsin will digest protein. Does this pepsin digest protein completely? No. This pepsin, partial digestion of protein take place in stomach. Remember this one. What is that? Partial digestion of protein take place in stomach by enzyme called pepsin. Pepsin will digest protein, not hydrochloric acid. Not hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid will acidify the food in order to activate the pepsinogen to produce pepsin. This pepsin will digest protein partially. Completely it will not digest. This protein will digest completely. We'll study where it will digest this protein completely and what it converts. This protein, after digestion of protein, what it converts. What it now? So here hydrochloric acid, digestion of food, it will help in digestion of food or churning of food, and also kills harmful bacteria and also acidify the food. These two, the action of enzymes and hydrochloric acid and the churning of food, make the food into a liquid state. It makes a liquid state. That is called cheming. Already I CHYME. It makes cheming. It's a liquid state. Semi-liquid state we can say. Liquid state. Then this cheming leaves this stomach and enter into a small intestine. It will enter into a small intestine. So what will happen in small intestine, we'll study next. So I hope this you understood. Got it now? So any doubt, please ask me. Now we'll study intestine. What you will study? Intestine. What you will study? Intestine. Here, this part is intestine. This is stomach. Then this part is intestine. We'll study about intestine. Basically, the intestine is divided into two parts. They are divided into two parts. First one is, they are divided into two parts. First one is the part which is connected. The part of intestine which is connected to the stomach is long and narrow. Coiled tube called small intestine. Called small intestine. Small intestine. And the next is the end part of intestine, which is thick and short. That intestine is called large intestine, which is large intestine. Large intestine. Important points you can note down in your notebook. Keep a notebook while watching this video, and important points you just write down. What it now? So the small intestine, which is long and narrow. What you know, long is narrow. They are coiled tube. They are coiled like this. They are coiled tube, not straight. They are coiled. See, everywhere they are coiled like tube. Got it now? So they are long and narrow, but this is thick. This part. This is thick. Large intestine. This is large intestine. Thick and short. So the small intestine, what is the approximate length? You will find in workbook. What is the approximate length of small intestine? So it is given length. I can write in blue. Okay. So what is the length, approximate length? That is 22 feet. We can say in meter, if you kind of consider in meter, what is that? 7 meter. 7 meter long. So 22 feet in length, long approximate length is 22 feet. That is 7 meter. And also we can say 3.5 the length of our body. The length of our body. 3.5 length of body. Length of body. Length of our body. 3.5 length of our body. So what is the approximate length of large intestine? 5 feet. What is that? 5 feet. We can say in meter 1.5 meter. 1.5 meter. Got it now? This is they are divided into two parts, that is small intestine and large intestine. We'll study one by one. Just note it down in notebook. Got it now? This rough notebook. You just note it down what is information given. You will not find in textbook. So now we'll study small intestine. Now we'll study small intestine. Small intestine. As you all know, digestion of food begins at what? Where? Where digestion of food begins? It begins in mouth itself. In mouth, digestion of food begins. What? Digestion takes place. Here, the saliva, that is saliva which is secreted in the mouth, that is amylase enzymes that is secreted in the salivary gland. That amylase will help the starch to convert it to sugar. That is the first digestion take place in mouth. You remember this one? It is in workbook. What take place? Starch converted into sugar. In mouth it begins. Digestion begins at mouth, where the starch is converted into sugar. Starch is converted into starch. Starch is converted into what? Sugar. So this is the first. Digestion begins at mouth, ends at small intestine, not large intestine, not stomach. Where it ends, digestion ends in small intestine. Ends at small intestine. Small intestine. Digestion ends at small intestine. Digestion begins at mouth, where starch is converted into sugar. We'll talk what digestion takes place in small intestine. What is converting what? Got it now? So small intestine, digestion begins at mouth, ends at small intestine. Remember this one. Another thing. Also, small intestine, if you see inside the inner wall of the small intestine, if you see inside this small inner wall of this small intestine, you will find finger-like projection or outgrowth. Finger-like outgrowth. Suppose this is a tube. This is a tube. You will find inside this a finger-like outgrowth. Finger-like outgrowth. Inside this tube, this is I am drawing a part of intestine, small intestine. Inside this tube, inside the surface of the wall of surface of the tube, you will find a finger-like projection, which is outgrowth. That is called belly. Remember this one. That is called belly. So, what is the purpose of this belly? This belly will observe the nutrients which are required by our body after digestion of the food. Got it now? So here some glands is there. Some glands are present in the inner wall of the surface of the small intestine. They will produce what? Mucin. Mucin. That is also we can say mucus. What is the function of this mucus? A mucin. Mucin means they will lubricate gel-like substance they will produce. This gel-like substance will lubricate the food. What is that? It will lubricate the food. What is that? That is the purpose of mucin. These two things are produced. Here inner surface, that is where this bile is located, in the small intestine. The answer of workbook. In workbook, where the bile is located in body. So it is located in small intestine. Answer. Got it now? So next. So in small intestine, the small intestines are divided into three parts. They are of three parts. This small intestine are three parts. What are they? Small intestine are three parts. They are three parts. First one is duodenum. Duodenum. First part is duodenum. Second part, that is JUNUM. Jejunum. Then ileum. Third part is. So this small intestine are of three parts. They are known as duodenum, jejunum, ileum. Got it now? So what happened here? When I told no chem, CHY, after leaves the stomach, that is liquid state. After leaves the stomach, when it enters into a small intestine, that is when this enters into a duodenum part, what happened? It will when this enters, at that time it will release some intestinal juice. It will release when it enters, when this chemi will enter in small intestine, duodenum, it will release. This will released what? What it will release? It will release intestinal juice. Intestinal juice. This intestinal juice is released when chemi is enter into small intestine, that is duodenum. Then it will release intestinal juice. This intestinal juice will activate stimulate what? It will stimulate this gallbladder. This is it will stimulate gallbladder. It will stimulate what? It will stimulate gallbladder. It will stimulate, but it will activate nervous system. It will activate the nervous system. It will activate or stimulate the gallbladder to release. It will activate the gallbladder, and also it will activate the pancreas. What is it called? Pancreas. What is that? Pancreas. Got it now? Once again, when chemi, that is liquid state, from stomach, when it leaves and enter into the small intestine, it will reach, when it reach the one part of duodenum in small intestine, when it reach the duodenum, it will release what? Intestinal juice. This intestinal juice will stimulate the gallbladder and pancreas to produce what? It will stimulate to produce what? To produce, gallbladder will produce bile juice. What is that? Bile juice. That is a special digestive enzymes or juice, you can say. This gallbladder and pancreas will release special digestive juice. That is called bile juice, and this is pancreatic juice. PANCREATIC, pancreatic juice. Got it now? Understood? So here what happened? When chemi, that is liquid state of food, which enters into the small intestine, that is duodenum part, then it will release intestinal juice. This intestinal juice will stimulate gallbladder and pancreas to release a special digestive juice, that is called bile juice and pancreatic juice. Gallbladder will secrete bile juice, pancreas will secrete pancreatic juice. What are their role? We'll study. What are their role? We'll study. You just note it down inside notebook. You just note it down the important points like this. Similar, same way. Got it now? So gallbladder, bile juice, pancreas, pancreatic juice. Got it now? So what happened? Say after what happened? After releasing this bile juice and pancreas, where this release of this digestive juice is taking place in small intestine. Everything is done in small intestine. This is going on in small intestine. After that, what happens? This bile juice and pancreatic juice, they will mix with the food in small intestine itself. They will mix in the food in small. They will mix. These together will mix with food. With the food. These two bile juice and pancreatic juice will mix with the food. Okay? So what happened? After that, what happens? Next. What happened? This gallbladder, oh, okay, I can say bile juice. What is the function of bile juice? Functions. We'll study the functions. This bile juice will digest fat. Digest fats. It will help in digestion of fats. Bile juice will digest fats, whereas pancreatic juice helps in what? It will digest carbohydrate. It will help in digestion of carbohydrates and protein. I told no, this protein is not completely digested in stomach. Partial digestion of the protein takes place in stomach, and then afterwards completely it will digest in small intestine. So as you know, bile juice is specially used for the digestion of fats. What is the role of bile juice? Digestion of fats. And what pancreatic juice will help in digestion in carbohydrates and protein. So after digestion of fats, what it converts? Fats is converted into what? That is very important. That is very, very important. So here, this digest fats is conversion. I can write here conversion of this fats is converted. Fats is converted into what? Fatty acid. Fatty acid, or we can say glycerol. Fatty acid and glycerol. This is the nutrient. Directly it will absorb with the help of villi, which is present in the inner surface of the small intestine. That is, this fatty acid is directly absorbed by our body afterward. This is a simpler form. The food is formed as simple substance form, which is directly it can observe. Fats cannot be directly observed. Therefore, it is digested. That is with the help of bile juice. This bile juice will digest further fats converted into fatty acid, which is helping in converting fats into fatty acid. Is bile juice. This is helping in converting fats is converted into fatty acid with the help of bile juice. What is that? Next, carbohydrate. Carbohydrate is converted into what? Sugar. What is broken down into sugar? This sugar, we can say sucrose, glucose we can say, or we can say glucose also. no problem. Glucose or sucrose. What it mean? Same thing. Then next, protein. Protein is converted. These two are converted by pancreatic juice. These two are converted by pancreatic juice, but fats are converted with the bile juice, fatty acid. So protein is converted into amino acid. Amino acid. Amino acid. You have to remember this. Not it down in not. So this fats is converted into fatty acid or glycerol. Carbohydrate is converted into sugar or glucose. Protein is converted into amino acid. These molecules observed. These molecules are observed in our body. These molecules are observed. Observation of this molecule in small intestine take place. So these molecules are observed in. These are observed in small intestine. These are observed in small intestine. So what happens? Then this observed nutrients is in small intestine. It will fast. This observed nutrients. It will pass through a bloodstream, and it will stored in stored in liver. Where it is stored? Liver. It is stored in liver. This observed nutrients pass through a bloodstream and it is stored in liver. Where is liver is present? Here, liver. This is liver. So here, everything after observing, the molecules of these nutrients are observed and it will pass through a bloodstream. The bloodstream will carry these nutrients and it will store in liver. This liver will transport it to all parts of the body afterwards. This is the way the small intestine works. Next is we'll study large intestine, which is short and very thick. What is the purpose of large intestine? What is the purpose of large intestine? What is the purpose of large intestine? Here, large intestine, after the what happened? Large intestine. After the absorption of all required nutrients from the food, then and the undigested food means the remaining food are sent into the large intestine. So the remaining materials which are coming out from the small intestine are sent back to the large intestine. What happened here? Only the minerals and plus water. The minerals and water which are present in the undigested food, which are present in undigested food. These minerals and water which are present in the undigested food are observed by our body. What is by our body? Here only minerals and water which are present in the undigested food are observed by our body. But here digestion will not take place. Digestion of digestion will not take place. Then the undigested food, that unwanted food, are excreted outside through our, or thrown outside of our body through anus as a stool, This excreted outside as a stool. Got it, na? Excreted outside, thrown outside. So this is the, here we can see appendix. Here you can see at the end part of this large intestine, you can see appendix. This appendix, that is till today they don't know what is the function, what is the role of this appendix. Some they say this will store some good microorganisms, good bacteria, we can say good bacteria, good microorganisms. So till today they have not found out what is the purpose of this appendix. Some say this is the unwanted part in our body. So this is the how the digestive system in humans we have studied today, we have discussed today. So I hope you clearly understood. Any doubts in this regarding this digestion in humans, just let me know, so we'll clarify all the doubts remaining. So you start solving workbook of chapter 1. Any doubt, don't feel shy to ask me. So don't write any wrong answers. If you are doubt in any question, just let me know so that I can help you out. So you just try to solve chapter 1 workbook. I hope, and also try to watch this video once, twice if you don't understand. Got it now? So then go through your lessons 1 or chapter 2 once, then you will understand well. Got it? Thank you.